Yeah, I'll react to that, sure. Hey guys, I was meaning to put a few of these forces news videos into one, but they ended up being a little longer than I expected, so I'm separating them. So I'm just putting an intro where I didn't think I had to. Original link to the video, top of the description. Hope you're all doing well. Let's start. Here we go. Ooh. Okay, cool guys. Let's watch the next one.
Having been in Hamas.
Not this one. We'll do that one after. Ukraine war reveals new threats to British Army tactics. Preemptive like, original link. Okay.
It's well established frontline fighters can't win battles alone, but Ukraine has shown how vital logistical support is to keep them in the fight and how difficult that can be today. Logistical support is to keep them in the fight.
Whoa. What did it hit? Was that a... Oh, there's a person?
And how difficult that can be today.
Huh?
Engineers have to respond quickly to keep an army on its feet, and now the UK is transforming its approach.
Everything that we're doing right now is on lessons learned, and actually it's testing the way that the Corps and probably the wider army has functioned for a long time. But what we're really testing now this time is how to push logistics as far forward as possible, pushing recovery assets as far forward as possible, and literally only a few Ks behind the front line, so quite far out.
When artillery guns push forward, they still need ammunition delivered. So this British Army training has seen normal resupply routes triple in distance, with support convoys also taking separate routes to spread what is now a greater risk they'll meet the enemy out for days at a time. They're sent from the brigade's support area, which itself has to adapt to threats from advanced drones and more accurate artillery fire, moving from 50 kilometres from the front line to around 200.
From what we're learning and how technology is advancing nowadays, we are very much at risk as much as we would be on a front line. Even being 150, 200 Ks back, you know, things can find us and things can strike us wherever we are. So
this is one of the...
We need to be aware of that and really mold to that environment that we operate in.
This is why China isn't as threatening as it could be, because clearly it has an enormous military, enormous economy, giant military budget. I think second largest after us. I think by a long shot after us. I saw some statistic that like US, I don't know if I'm supposed to be like proud or ashamed of this fact, that like the US spends more on its military or like more on its navy than any other country does on its whole military. Something like that. It was some weird thing. But like the thing is that some things can... one of the most important things about battle is having both soldier and the greater military complex experience in battle, and that's something that I think makes America extra powerful, is that we've been fighting, you know, invading and fighting wars pretty much nonstop since the end of World War II, whereas China, since World War II, I mean, they did a bit of proxy stuff with helping North Vietnam, I think, maybe a few soldiers. They had some soldiers in the Korean War, but that was right after World War II. So that, you know, that was in the early 50s, I think. And so China just hasn't, their military and their country hasn't had a lot of recent big testing of like stuff of combat around the world that only experience and bring to you. Like, I think Ukraine's army is going to go up in rank in terms of like countries around the world's army, not just because like they've shown they've been capable even with Western NATO support, but because like they have a lot of extremely recent, it's current, it's still going on, battle experience. And so I think like I'm much more fearful of an enemy that whether they lost or won in big military interventions, right, in conflicts, but like you learn things in those things that you can, fix, learn from your errors. And a country like China that doesn't have that much experience, especially recently, it isn't going to have that. I could have said that way quicker. Sorry.
We need to be aware of that and really mould to that environment that we operate in. But I think now distance isn't as much the safety net for us. We're sort of going more towards cam concealment, which were the sort of general tenets of how we'd stay safe. But now we're going and looking into deception and dispersal as well.
Electronic signatures that would give away the location of the hub are mimicked elsewhere to throw off the enemy. Meanwhile, the army looks to split up the real thing.
Whoa, what did it say?
I think now distance isn't as much the safety net for us. We're sort of going more towards cam concealment, which were the sort of general tenets of how we'd stay safe. But now we're going and looking into deception and dispersal as well.
Electronic signatures that would give away the location of the hub are mimicked elsewhere to throw off the enemy. Meanwhile, the army looks to split up the real thing, minimising the impact of any successful enemy strike.
There's no hiding it, we're a big entity. One of the things that we've discovered is that actually this would need to be broken down into much smaller nodes. And absolutely, you're right, distance isn't the factor that's gonna save us. It's dispersion and a bit of deception, so we're looking on how we can employ that to keep us safe.
The evolution of these engineers will also benefit from the new Ajax armoured vehicle, making their jobs safer so they can keep other units firing. Tom Sable's Forces News, Salisbury. Thanks for watching. For more from Forces News, like and subscribe to our channel.
Yes, another one. Guys, I'm now separating these videos, so it was a great video I watched right here. I'm gonna separate the next one too into its own. I just I thought I was gonna have a shorter video. I was gonna combine them. So would appreciate any comments, guys, and I'll see you next video, which will be soon. Bye, guys.